Hey YouTube, what's up? This is JJ King 78, Jen. I think for YouTube purposes I'll go by JJ if there's enough Jens out there. Do not get confused. I wanted to make a quick video to say hello and kind of put my thoughts out there so everyone would know why I'm on here and kind of where I'm standing with what's going on in the world today. So I'm going to start by saying I signed up on YouTube a couple years ago just to look at videos, funny things, you know. This time a year ago I was probably watching every reality show made, the housewives of wherever, the hills. I was really into television and didn't care about reading or educating myself about anything, and I would say about September or October of '09, I don't know, I must have been watching the History Channel and they had something come on about the Mayans in 2012, and that sparked my interest, and I met some people that were telling me about, oh gosh, there were dinosaurs that they were finding and giant skeletons, the Nephilims, I know I'm going to say that wrong, but pterodactyls, I guess, like all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm like, alright, show me what you're talking about. So I got on YouTube and there's videos of pretty much whatever you want to find, and some of them are fake, yes, and some things, I don't know, are really interesting. So I started getting into all the 2012 phenomenon and have kind of gone around the whole world with that. I don't know if it's going to be, you know, physical with all the stuff that's happening in the world right now, the earthquakes, the weather changes, or if that's government made. I don't know if it's going to be spiritual awakening. Of course, that's more what I'm hoping for and where I'm going to put my energy. But, you know, I started out looking at that stuff, and then I think I had gotten into the Galactic Federation a little bit. I started watching their videos, saw some things on the Pleiadians. I know for some people this is probably going way too far, but just kind of get it all out there. And then, you know, one day I hit the New World Order, and then that shot me off in this spiral, and I'm kind of obsessive compulsive when it comes to learning something. I can't hardly eat or sleep or do anything else until I absorb as much as I can about that particular subject. So I dove right in and found out about the ancient bloodlines, the Bilderberg group. Oh, I said that wrong. I don't know, just the mess, the lies that we've been told our whole lives, basically from cradle to grave, and to say the least, it's been a mind trip, and my poor family and friends must think I'm nuts, and in fact I don't talk to a few friends anymore, and I'm having some trouble with a couple of family members, one in particular. You know, I'm a different person than I was 6 months ago. I don't watch television anymore, or anything I do, it's to escape the reality I'm living in now, and the news I take with a grain of salt, all of it. I know that they're all run by the same people. They're all telling us whatever they want to hear. You can turn on a news station from another country or speak to people from other countries. I have plenty of friends from Africa. I've been to Africa myself. I've seen what life is like in certain parts and how they think of Americans, and it's not a pretty sight when you have to go outside of your own country and see the way the world looks at you and find out things that your country is doing that you can't really be very proud of. So that's kind of what got me into all of this, and I started going down a pretty sad road, and I've decided to not focus on that stuff anymore. I was going to make a video a couple weeks ago kind of going into all this, the truther, the patriot movement, Tea Party. I'm into all of that, but I also think, you know, they're doing whatever they want, you know, with the healthcare. I knew it was going to be passed, you know. When George Bush got elected the second time, that was kind of the wake-up call. Like, maybe we don't really have as much of a say as they say we do. But nonetheless, I think that we all have a role to play, and so 2 weeks ago I came across Dero7's video. Can't remember which one it is, but what a guy, I guess. You know, I watched his progression. I went back and watched his first videos, and he was, you know, all about the Republic and into truthing, and kind of where I have been, and then you start seeing this shift take place And he's becoming more spiritual and more awake in a different way. You know, we can all say, the truthers, we can say that we are awake in one sense of the world, but I think a lot of us are still missing this huge chunk. You know, like, we can make our knowledge great, but what about our spirituality? And I just have to say, I have been an atheist, or was an atheist, my entire life. Like, I mean, I almost made fun of people that believed in God, and I just felt really sad. Now, I went to church for many years. I participated in the youth group, and it wasn't until I was probably 13 or 14, and, you know, I had to deal with a lot of personal tragedies and loss of many lives, and, you know, I didn't understand, like, how a God could let something like that happen over and over again. And it still bothers me, obviously, but I understand now that these are all learning experiences. You know, it's not about a God is here to save me or to say who's right and who's wrong. It's cosmic justice, and I've always felt that we're going to get back what we put into it, and I see that on a daily basis, and I feel that myself. So when we start changing our own attitudes, the world around us changes. And I think that's why I have to make this video and not only say hello and this is who I am, but also to all those truthers and, you know, the people in the New World Order fight, and, you know, it's like they are still winning. Even though we're waking up, they are still winning, because they still have us, I don't know, if not scared. I'm not scared. It's just we're in their court, and I don't want to play in their court anymore. I want them to have to play in my court. And so I'm going to change the world around me, you know, and if they want to come in, they can come in, but I'm not going to get depressed watching the news. And I just have to say, Nancy Grace, I don't know how she lives with herself and raises her children when all she talks about are children being killed every day. But anyways, that's a whole other story. But I think whatever you put in your mind and allow yourself to resonate in, it becomes part of you. And I'm going to choose not to focus on that stuff anymore. And this whole spiritual side, I'll just have to say, ever since I was maybe 15, I was outside my backyard and I saw a shooting star. I'm like, oh cool, shooting star, I'm going to make a wish. And that thing's going down, and all of a sudden it changed and did a 90-degree turn and shot back up into the sky. And I wasn't quite sure what to make of that. And I've had a few other experiences. My grandmother died when I was 13, and she lived with us, and I helped take care of her. And about a week after she died, I was playing hide and go seek with my friends down at a park, and clear as day, no one calls me Jennifer, but she called me Jennifer. And I heard her name clear as day. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up, and I bolted my tail home. I mean, probably a good mile home. Just bolted the whole way. Didn't tell anybody about it for years. And then it happened one other time a week before my dad died. I heard it again, and it just stopped me in my tracks. And it was like literally a week before he died. And years later, I told my mom, and she said the same thing happened to her too. So that kind of got me thinking other things. I've seen one other crazy thing. That's another story. But I've always been saying, like, the missing link in this world, and this is where I kind of lost a lot of my friends, and they always laughed at me, but were the aliens. Sorry, you know, the brothers and sisters, but the aliens, you know, that's what I said. Like, they can't find the missing link because it's from up there. You know, they came down and they did something. I mean, I was saying this, like I said, I mean, I was a young kid, and it was such the joke. You know, my friends always say, hey, what do you, tell them what you think, you know, but yeah, so that's what I thought. And, okay, this is the other part of it, I'll have to say, is my whole life I have felt like I need to prepare for battle. Like, I'm sent here to be a warrior. I mean, like, I've never shaken this my whole life. And I'm kind of, you know, my friends used to call me a butch bitch, you know, like, I work out and try to take care of myself and kind of be tough. And there was this one soul astrology book, and I'm a Taurus, but it said there was something about my sign, and I'm not into all of that yet, but it said that we were meant to be warriors, but that didn't make sense in this day and age because there was no war we needed to fight. Well, this book was written back in the early 90s, so, you know, maybe I should go check out the new copy and see if it says anything different. But as I'm seeing it, one way or another, there's a need to be a warrior. Well, let me stop it here and back it up, and I'll do another video. Thanks. Bye.